Hello and welcome to Editing with My Wife, now with less no. My name's the Hooded Philosopher and I'm here with Cheesy Loops. Hey Cheesy Loops, what are you saying no to?
No.
Okay, I'm going to be less no. She's going to be the no. So, before we get into this book, let's ask some questions about it.
Okay, so what I know of this book is that the main focus of the story is not the main character. The main person of interest is not the main character.
Yeah, the person driving the story. The intention is to make it not the main character, make him look kind of like a side character.
Yes.
I don't know that I succeeded, but I'm going to give it a go. Maybe we can find it in the editing process. What else? What's the questions?
There is a human named Eleanor.
Eleanor is the one of the very important characters.
Very, very important characters. And Glimmer.
And that's the one we're following. That's his perspective. It's his perspective.
It's his perspective.
Yeah, and it's important that it's his.
And he is trying to
He is trying
to fulfill a prophecy.
But,
who's the main character?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I would respond Glimmer.
Glimmer.
His name is Glimmer, although he does sometimes go by John in,
yes.
in the human world, because he is Fae.
He is Fae. And
what's the setting?
Yeah, that's a good question. What is
the setting?
Right,
because the goal here is to have a fantastical, magical setting, with different settings of fantastical and magical, collide into a science fiction universe where everything is at peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal by the end of the story. So I've got the setting of this Fae universe, which is called The Journey, and instead of having specific locations to keep track of, what they do is they keep track of the story as they went through the ages. So you'll find that the first age of this journey is filled with more like Neanderthal men.
Okay.
I think I'm missing some Fae in there, so I think I want to put fairies in there for sure.
Okay.
And maybe some older Fae stuff. But then the second age we move into a Night Kingdom, and then the third age we move into a Victorian vampire werewolf kind of thing. And with the knights, there's not vampires. There's mermaids and the society there. There's harpies with their society, and then there's an undead society, and that's important because that's how it happens in the Fey world. Nobody actually dies. If the body is killed, you become undead, and then you beseech someone to become living again. And then in the third age, it's just a terrible fight between werewolves and vampires, where the vampires have an upper hand, with the ultimate goal of taking these three worlds and smashing them into the beginning world, which is where Eleanor comes from, which is an Earth set far into the future where we have given up on any kind of evil thinking. We just all did. It's just we gave up on it, and there's a thing that kind of oversees intention. So when it comes up, we understand the intention is not good, and they can bat that down in a calm and respectable way, in whatever science fiction-y way I could come up with later. But that's not where it's set. But it's an important feature here, is that Eleanor comes from the future and it's peaceful. So she's not like us either. That was a lot of words.
That is a lot of words. We could just read the words on the page.
This is I mean, I don't think you're in the Fey world until chapter 5 or 6.
Okay.
So it takes time, and there's a lot to read, and there's a lot to change about it for sure. This is not my best work. So these episodes might take longer.
Yeah.
So that being said, we've got a character, Glimmer. We've got a side character, Eleanor, who's kind of the main character doing all the heavy lifting, is what I want to kind of portray.
If she was in anime, she would not have normal colored hair.
She would be Goku for sure. She would have the power to get the Dragon Balls. You know, sorry, I didn't ignore what you said. What did you say?
It's a joke. It says if you have pink hair, she would have pink hair in an anime because she is the main character.
Is that a trope?
It's kind of a trope yeah.
No, she's got to have blonde hair. I guess maybe I need to make that specific because she's golden.
I was making a joke that.
Yeah, I just don't watch a lot of anime, and I have a terrible sense of humor.
there was one thing I was either reading or watching where someone was poking fun at the fact that the main characters of anime don't tend to have normal colored hair, and it's just perceived as normal, whereas everybody else around them has normal colored hair. So you know something's going to happen with this character or this character. And so that's why I was saying in an anime she would have pink hair. She is the main character. She's the one that everything's happening to, kind of thing.
Yes. But the reason why it's Glimmer is because Glimmer's from the Fey world, and he's the one that's prophesied. Mm-hmm. But she's the one with the power. Mm-hmm. He's going to need her to make the prophecy happen. Yeah. And she is... I mean, the idea is that there's no evil inside of her. Mm-hmm. There's no intent to manipulate, intent to kill. And she doesn't like it either. But that's all going to happen. But the first chapter here, an interesting thing, is going to explain what's going on, kind of. I don't know what this explains. Let's get into it. All right, so chapter 1, an interesting thing.
Oh, I like that.
Me too.
You read the chapters.
No, you're going to read the chapter. I'm going to read the chapter title. It's even work.
It's totally even work.
Yeah, and I get paid more for it. Yeah, but I do the editing, and my voice isn't nearly as seductive and sultry as yours.
And you could sleep on this tiny couch tonight. I guess you did bring me home chocolate.
And I wrote you a story.
Oh, you wrote me more than one story.
I'm going to write you all the stories.
Eleanor wasn't interesting. She really didn't much care for interesting things to happen to her. Though, to a con man, who went by Jonathan Glimmer Gray, it was her complete lack of anything of interest that he knew he could exploit. Using some rather helpful abilities, he knew all the right places to exploit. She was just one human in a vast sea of humans, small-minded animals that he had grown accustomed to in his exile. Highlight, he knew all the right places to exploit for me.
Nope, that's not one.
That's not highlighter. Thank you. Glimmer was probably the most interesting entity to ever walk.
Why don't you use the mouse if you want to, and I'll hop in when I need to. Mm-hmm. We'll just leave it open.
Yeah. Glimmer was probably the most interesting entity to ever walk the mean streets of Brooklyn. His mind was sharp and deadly. His family had always had this kind of power to convince and connive. Is that how you spell connive? That's weird.
I guess. I mean, it didn't say you spelled it wrong.
I know.
I could be right, but I could also be wrong, and it doesn't know how to spell. Shrug.
His family had always had this kind of power to convince and connive their way out of every tough spot. He was different, though. For millennia, the Fey Kingdom has distanced itself from humans, always wearing a mask, never eager to reveal their true face. Glimmer, who had been living among the humans, learned of an obscure prophecy. It was an old man who claimed to be Fey, but his power was clearly greater than that. He spoke of an ordinary young lady with one extraordinary talent. She knew the dance that held the key to the soul of the dragon of greed and corruption.
It's the wrong word. That should be power.
Ah.
It's the greed and power. I changed it. That was early writing. I didn't change it.
Eleanor knew the dance, and that was quite attractive to Glimmer, or rather John, for now. His unique abilities helped him, letting him know that she was not interested in his advances. She had a boyfriend. That was not going to stop Jonathan Glimmer, not with a prize that could finally bring the humans to their side, unveiling the Fae once and for all. "Can I buy you a cup of coffee?" he said as he walked up to her with his most irresistible smile. Her own smile was growing in response as he cheekily commented, "You remind me of the Greek sirens." Normally an advance is cheesy. As that would call for a rebuff. However, she loved Greek mythology. "Too bad my singing voice is shit," she said, stepping up to the coffee counter. "I wasn't talking about the singing. It was their dancing that was most alluring. My name is John. I assure you, I mean no disrespect to you," he said. He was offering his hand. Eleanor took his hand. The shake was significant. She was beginning to listen to him. He took another opportunity to become comforting in her eyes. I just couldn't help but comment that you move with the grace of a swan. She laughed at him. I appreciate the comment, but you should know I have a boyfriend. You're barking up the wrong tree. She politely refused. Again, I mean no disrespect. I guess I couldn't help myself. He turned away, confident he was trapped in her memory. Meeting her was just the start of his day. He walked down the sidewalk until he came upon an alleyway. When he was confident no one was looking, he disappeared to his home. In a penthouse at the top of a high building, 2 people were waiting for him there. A scrawny man with bushy curled hair and a bulky woman dressed for a fight that could snap him like a twig. But what a married couple does to each other is their own business.
They're married. That was the point of that statement. I thought it was funny.
It is funny. But,
the whole thing, just keep highlighting. It's fine.
We can smooth it.
I'll get back to it.
We can smooth it.
Yeah, leave a mark.
So did you meet her? The scrawny one asked. Yes, and if I'm not careful, I'll fall in love. He let out a sigh of frustration. That bad, huh? The woman said, handing him a cup of coffee, his favorite invention of humans. The feeling is worth it, she said, looking at the puffy-haired man. You're worth it. Do you always need to be lovey-dovey when I'm around? He said sarcastically. What else is marriage for, if not to say all the good sentences to each other? I don't love lessons.
I don't need love lessons.
I don't need love lessons, Glint. I need you to keep an eye on Eleanor. The 2 of them disappeared out the door. That was not very nice. You have so few who are willing to help you. An old round woman stood in front of the closed door, now obscured by her fairy wings, a brilliant black with the shimmer of the night spread across them. I read that wrong.
It's okay. We'll just keep going. We'll come back to it. How it's said might need to be changed because of that.
She walked over to his desk and said, all you need to do is turn yourself in, Glimmy. It will all be over. You, of all people, know we will be kind to you. We can never do anything to the would-be prince of the Fey world. I lost that title the day you turned your back on me. Now I believe that the humans of this world have evolved enough to know the truth. And when I get the dragon on my side, you will know very quickly that I mean to change the very foundations of human and Fey society alike. She smiled at him sweetly. Bold aspirations for a young man like yourself to proclaim. Such a profound structural change to the divines.
It's possessive. There is a comma. It should be like the personal divine. Apostrophe S. Quite rigid plan.
Quite rigid plans. Bold aspirations for a young man like yourself to proclaim. Such a profound structural change to the divines.
This shouldn't be there, should it?
Quite rigid plans. She reached into the pocket of her dress, retrieving a note folded over and sealed in the black wax of his family's origin. He always felt I had too many crows and moons. Woo! This is your last chance, Glimmer Gray. Come home. End this fruitless attempt to collide the worlds that are meant to remain apart.
Sorry.
She placed the letter with a certain thwip, seemingly to disappear into the sound. He stood over Manhattan in his office and looked to the morning clouds for answers. No matter how long he stared, he knew they would not give him any answers. It was Eleanor that was going to change everything. How could he be the one to deny the dragon of prophecy his truth?
Let's switch back to the right.
Yes, switch back to the clicky clack.
But before we start this, first thoughts. What do you see here?
Very interesting. He needs Eleanor for something. I mean,
yes.
It said that she has the dance for dragon.
Yes.
He does feel very conniving. Maybe that's why. Conniving, I've always seen it not...
It's creepy to be conniving.
ING.
It's a negative thing for sure.
ING, whereas
yes.
you had it up there.
Yes.
as a different one, and maybe that's
we
why
might change that. That I think about. I was thinking there's another way I could phrase that where it's conniving as like conniving and convincing, and I think that might be better. But what did you hear? What's the story about so far?
Someone does not like the fact that he's doing all this.
How do you feel like she was approaching him with it? Was there threats? She wasn't coming at him in an angry way, right?
No, there are threats, but it's not like this is your last chance, Glimmer Gray. Come home, end this fruitless attempt to collide the worlds that are meant to remain apart. It's almost a threat, but also begging.
Good. That is what I was trying to do. She does not want it to happen, and she's really hoping her son will listen. Mm-hmm. But he won't listen because she abandoned him. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we'll get up into the details later. Is there anything else you want to say? Like as far as what you've read so far, is there something you want to know more about? Any questions?
What's the other lady's name? Glint's wife?
Ember, which I think is in the next chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted that.
And I want them both to be liked as a married couple that like each other. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's very important.
What else is marriage for if not to say all the good sentences to each other?
Yeah.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I also need to portray that Glimmer cares deeply about both. Mm-hmm. If I don't get that across in the first couple chapters, I'm in trouble. So if there's a way that Glimmer could like show what makes him be there, that's important because he cares about them, but there's a prophecy that needs to be fulfilled. Remember that. But I really want people to like Glimmer or like Glint and Ember. Yeah.
Okay. Not much else right off the bat that I can tell.
So let's dig into the weeds then.
Yeah,
let's start with this one since it's right here.
Get rid of answers.
Okay.
Just get rid of it.
Well, let's look at what it was saying.
So what you have is he stood over Manhattan in his office and looked to the morning clouds for answers. No matter how long he stared, he knew they would not give him any.
Because he was looking for the answers.
Yes. So you didn't need to say answers again.
What is this sentence telling you about Glimmer?
It's possible that he has magic in divination. What
so if you were looking out to the city for answers, it's more like you're trying to scour your brain for possibilities, and he's just using the landscape to kind of keep his eyes busy, right?
Like when someone's talking to you and they're kind of just using you as a focus.
Well, he's alone, but
right, no, but like that's what I'm saying.
The streets and the city is a focus.
Right.
He's focusing on that and just talking. Right. And just thinking, not talking.
Because we do that to each other all the time, where we're just like.
So I'm trying to say that Glimmer's not 100% sure. Mm-hmm. Right. I need to make sure that gets put across too. But it's the prophecy that's driving.
Well, and even that last sentence that you have, how could he be the one to deny the dragon of prophecy is true?
It's a pretty interesting sentence for the end of a chapter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is. Okay. Very much so.
And it's a question.
And it is a question.
And that's Glimmer,
but it seems like it has almost a twofold to it. Whereas, like, Dragon of Prophecy has said this is going to happen. And there's almost an unspoken question here too. Maybe I can't quite put it into words, but it's not those words. It's a different question.
Yes. Okay. So, bold aspirations for a young lamb like yourself to proclaim such a profound structural change to the divines, quite rigid plans.
Okay, so I didn't quite get that. Quite rigid plans were part of the divines, so there doesn't need to be a comma there.
Unless it's this, isn't it? Maybe this. So it's the divine's rigid plans, and she's denoting that they're quite rigid?
Or you meant to put an apostrophe in the S, and you accidentally put a comma.
And you did this one too. Let's hear.
I didn't do that one. I did the quite rigid
Okay.
plans. You want to...
Well, let's look at this little bit here.
Yeah, but you want to put a apostrophe here. And I think that's what the problem was.
Ah, that's the problem. You're right.
Yeah, still wrong. There you go.
So
Quite
let's talk
rigid
about
plans.
this. Since we're going backwards, it's fine. I don't think it'll disrupt too much. We've got an older woman that we'll get into that is talking to Glimmer, and she says, "Please stop." He says, "I'm not gonna. You abandoned me, and I don't want to trust you anymore." And then she says this.
Yes.
So, well, maybe this needs to be seen together. This particular context, right? Because if we just read bold aspirations for a young man, what is he proclaiming? What structural changes is he proclaiming?
Well, and this... Wait, hold on. Move your hand. And this fruitless attempt to collide the worlds that were meant to remain apart. So, it seems like she's saying that the divine's rigid plans are that these two worlds are to be apart, and you're trying to combine them. That's what's happening here.
Okay. And then she gets a note out of her dress that says, "This is your last chance, Glimmer Gray. Come home. End this fruitless attempt to collide the worlds that were meant to remain apart." And then she thwips out with the sound. Very well seen. You can understand what's happening there. So let's talk about why the divine's plans... Oh, no, I can't do that. That's too complicated of a question. You have anything to say?
No, this
Well, let's
is
move
a very,
up here then.
very good start.
What was this?
I don't know.
I did it because I wanted to say... Okay, but before that, he says, "I lost the title the day you turned your back on me. Now I believe that the humans of this world have evolved enough to know the truth."
And when I get a dragon on my side, you will know very quickly I mean to change the very foundations of human and fae society alike.
And is there what does he mean by the foundations of human and fae society?
Well, she says it later. She answers what that is.
Profound structural changes?
Yeah, the combining of the two worlds.
Okay.
So you're meant to
right here at the
assume.
end.
Yeah, you're meant to assume that these two worlds are not connected directly.
Okay. Yeah, there is a connection, but it's not like overlaid, like it's like he's claiming, like he's wanting to do, or whatever we're gonna say here.
Yeah. So let me try to reread the description of her wings real quick. So delete that.
Well, this is also a part I really want to work on.
Yeah. An old, round woman stood in front of the closed
That's
door,
where I wanna
now
start.
obscured by her fairy wings, a brilliant black with the shimmer of the night sky spread across them.
Oh, that's not how you say it.
Where's...
It's like a gray knob. I want to make sure that she's older. She's got the old gray hair.
So
I'm trying to... Okay, I'm going to be honest. This is the fairy godmother. That's what I want to kind of get from this. Except for I want the wings to seem a little different. But I want her to be like a fairy godmother, seeming to be gentle too. That's why she's not threatening.
So you're trying to describe her hair a little bit here?
Yes, along with
Okay.
the wings, really give you a visual representation of the creature here. This is an important one to understand who it is. Yeah.
So are we thinking tight bun, where everything's pulled tight up into this bun, or is it more loose?
Fairy
and...
godmother.
Okay, that
Should we
doesn't
Google
help.
that and see images? Would that help you?
The only images I've known of the fairy godmother are one where she has a hood on, so you don't see her hair, and the other one, you're on the wrong screen there,
Oh, no.
Yes.
We're gonna just pull up some pictures.
There you go. There's only two fairy godmothers I'm used to, which is
I'm really thinking of a Disney.
yes, the from Cinderella. Yeah, with her hood up.
That's what I'm thinking of. From Shrek.
You're thinking of
A humanoid kind of version.
the what's that called? Beehive hairdo.
Yes, a gray beehive. Now I could do that, but now that I see the fairy godmother from Disney, and I'm the hooded philosopher, I think she's inside my heart now. Like, look at her. She's wearing a hood.
So
But the problem is that cloak would block the wings.
the cloak would, But you know what wouldn't
What?
is that if she had like glittering tulle hood. It's kind of see-through. It's there. You can see the...
And it's almost the grim maudlin tone I'm wanting.
Yeah.
Like, she could even be wearing all black.
Yes.
Like, this is her son, and she feels like she's completely...
And her hood... Like, so the idea, like, if you want to put a hood on her and whatnot...
I like the idea of a shimmery tulle hood.
Veil.
Yeah, shimmery...
Like
I don't know about I want to wear with a face.
No. Like, veil material. That
yes,
tulle veil.
Veil.
Very
Yes,
delicate tulle.
That's Toole, right? I think it's Toole. It's a type of cloth. It's very fine mesh.
Yes, it's a very fine mesh.
But soft, not that rigid mesh we usually see, I would say.
I'm going to see if I can find... Ooh, kind of like that second one.
Yeah. Billowing around her. A shimmery tulle. Okay, let's start with this sentence then.
Oh, this would be perfect. Look at that. See that one?
Why are you white? Stop that. Sorry, that happened. It's got to be annoying to the people anyone watching.
So this one kind of is just... So it's just the, like, a lacy hood.
An old round woman with a shimmering veil. No.
Lacy hood.
A lacy hood with a dark lacy hood covering her gray hair. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can start getting this fairy godmother feel in there. I really want to put it in there. Now let's see if I can put this onto the page. An old round woman with a lacy... Is lacy the right word?
Yeah, lacy's going to be the right word that you want.
So the way it's written now is an old round woman with a lacy hood covering her gray hair stood in front of a closed door, now obscured by her fairy wings, a brilliant black with a shimmer of the night sky spread across them. Does that give you the image of like stars on her wings?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, very much so.
Okay, so that's a good place to put that, and it really gives the character there a little more of a shine. Now, I think I need... What I'm noticing here is the don't need love lessons is a small thing, but this up here, I'm trying to think. I need to pull the coffee back down somewhere, like he's maybe even contemplating in front of the window with its warmness wafting up to his nose, because he loves the coffee and he's grounded here, and that was the memory of the Fae, and he maybe wants to come back to the real world with the coffee.
Okay, just real quick, I found one that I think she would be wearing in this moment.
Okay.
And I think you will love this.
That's a lot of description. Like if it was black, yeah.
This is what I'm seeing when we're talking about this.
That's okay. And that's okay because now you can see how other people could see other things.
Yes.
And that's great. But I don't want to be too descriptive because I'd rather you guys make it up than me.
Well, that's why I didn't want to show it on
story.
camera either. But this is what I'm seeing, and I think it's quite... quite pretty in this.
So how many times should I mention the cup of coffee in this dialogue to make it more present as a grounding agent for his humanity? Because he's kind of got a passport to the human and the Fae world, unlike all the others. The Fae, when they come into their world, it's just a mask. They're not there. It's just a mask, and there's nothing. They're just interacting, not actually there.
So if you want to add the coffee in a place, he stood over Manhattan in his office.
The coffee gently wafting up into his face. And we could have him pick it up here in Glimmer said, picking up the coffee.
No, he was handed to it and he never put it down.
Well, then we could have him put it down and pick it back up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because maybe it's the conversation with Ember and them, or maybe take a drink and put it down. Like, lightly sip on it. Okay. So we're going to starting at the end is a good idea, and you were saying as the smell of the coffee gently wafted up to his face.
Yes. And I found the perfect place to put the putting down of the coffee.
And drifted into his face is okay?
Drifted into his
Nose, yeah. Looking to the morning clouds for answers. no matter how. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just got to be he. He looked to the morning clouds for answers. Okay. Well, I guess this could be a glimmer because we haven't said that in a while. We'll just do that. And that. Oh, there. Okay, so then right here we're going to say Glimmer picked up the coffee. Said picking up the coffee.
Okay, now where he puts it down. You ready for this?
Yes.
Do you always need to be lovey-dovey when I'm around? He said sarcastically.
Putting his coffee down. As if to make a point.
Yes. Yes. That was the perfect place for it, because he's getting a little... Like, he loves them, and he knows they love each other, but it's sickly sweet. And
Yeah,
he needs to put, he needs to put everything down. Oh, puppy. Listen, baby. He just brushes ya. Why do you already have knots in your long, long fur? Want to pet you without getting caught in your knots. You like this brush better than all the other brushes.
I stopped typing because I was watching you brush the dog. It was cute. Okay, so that was why I highlighted cup of coffee, so that doesn't really need to change. I just wanted to impose it a little more in there. Mm-hmm. So what we have so far with that, if we're going to start... Well, we should start here and start with this. And then work our way down to see if there's anything you'd add.
Okay, so I didn't know that there was a scrawny man with bushy curled hair and a bulky woman dressed for a fight that could snap him. Who was him?
Her little friend. Her bushy-haired friend. Her scrawny friend.
Yes.
Her tiny friend.
Companion.
Companion, yeah. That's a better word.
Her tiny companion. Like a twig. Well, what married couples... Married couples...
A married couple. What married couple do?
Do, not does.
I think maybe it's what a married couple does. What a married couples does. Does couples do?
What a married couple does with. Not to each other. With
behind closed doors.
Yeah, behind closed doors is their own business.
It's that behind their closed doors is like an addition to the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good place there. And that was the only thing you wanted to finish because you kind of highlighted a lot.
It just needed to be smoothed out to be better understood. No, the description was fine. It was at that could snap her tiny companion like a twig. I thought.
How do you picture the bulky woman dressed for a fight?
Leather.
Okay, and how do you picture scrawny man with bushy curled hair?
I mean, that could be anything.
What's the hair? What are you seeing? Like,
he's got a little fro.
Is it little, big?
Well, yeah, it's big.
Should I make it big? I think big might be funny, but then again, maybe I don't want to be funny. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it could be out here and it'd be.
Yeah, bushy.
Yeah.
Tight, bushy fro. Should I commented on her dress, but not the way she looks. But I commented on the way he looks, but nothing about his dress.
No, that's fine.
Well, what I could do is, see, like the scrawny one asked, and then I could mention some clothing. Putting down his hoodie to reveal all his hair.
No, because you already had bushy curled hair.
I know, but if he had a hood over it,
then you wouldn't have been able to describe it earlier.
Glimmer would have, because this is his friend. This is all from Glimmer's point of view.
Correct. It is from Glimmer's point of view. But when you describe it earlier, revealing the hair later makes no point. Okay,
so what can you do with your clothing? That would be interesting. I could add that in there to give him a better look. And then later when I'm talking about her, I can say something about her appearance to kind of add it in there.
So
does that make sense?
How does Glint normally dress?
My imagination is like Han Solo with a vest and a shirt underneath and some slacks. Nothing too serious, but like a leather vest. So he had his hands hanging on his leather vest when he said it. Maybe he slips off his shoes. Then I have to put it all back on before he leaves, and that might be kind of stupid.
Yeah, because I don't see him doing anything with his clothes. Two people were waiting for him. In my head, it's like, so, did you meet her? Leaning forward in interest kind of thing.
Adjusting his glasses. We'll give him glasses in the pro.
Does he have glasses?
He can. I mean, none of this is...
I understand that none of it is, but, like, that's...
set in stone is my sentence. I need to make sure that's set. None of this is set in stone. It can all be changed. This is just the way I can see it together. If there's small detail changes, what does it really matter as long as the story remains intact?
Right.
So, adding details is only going to add color to the world and words to my word count.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to say. It depends on what aspect of him do you want to be added here. Do you want...
I want him to be lovable.
Okay.
That's the most important part. He's the key to it all. He's the most important.
See
human.
why... Okay, so...
Not human.
Do you see why I stated that he leaned forward in interest?
Yes, I'm trying to like...
With a like a...
As he leaned forward in interest as he adjusted his nerdy glasses. Make him nerdy. People like nerds.
Or would he do a grin? Or would he do...
So maybe I should put something about his clothing up there with her, and then make their facial features and stuff come out later. His big fro could come down from a hoodie in that case.
Right, so you would say a scrawny man in a hoodie, and then the scrawny one asked.
Yeah, he said pulling his hair down to reveal a massive afro. Looking at him with high expectations. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, that's how.
And then we can dress them both up here, and then in the discussion below, give them the character they need. Okay, so
No, why? What does that add to his character? That's the curiosity.
I want to give. Okay, so what would be likable on a sweatshirt? Like a picture of two mice kissing, because he's like super into his wife. He's a wife guy.
Or could you make like a Faye joke right here?
Because he's a vampire. He's from the third age.
That's fine, but what Faye joke could you make here?
Like I said, he's a vampire. I don't like to be out in sunlight.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
Okay.
Allergic to the sun. Caution, allergic to the sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be good. That would be good. Get the caution spelled correctly, and if you're gonna do that, yeah, close it, but then also fix the other one.
What?
It's too close to it.
Oh, you're right. And maybe I should...
Get rid of I am.
It should be I'm?
No, to get rid of I am. Caution, allergic to the sun. Just... There you go. Or allergic to sunlight.
Allergic to the sun. Like, I'm allergic to the sun.
Yeah. Right.
I don't want to go out there. I'm a nighttime guy myself. However, I'm not a vampire. So. But I think that's a cute sweater for him to be wearing, and a great thing to reveal his hair. So what is her armor showing you of her character?
She's a fighter.
She's big and strong is my goal.
it feels like she's the fighter, whereas he is not.
He's the conniving one. He's a sneak thief.
He's a little sneaky sneak.
He's a theftster.
He's a theft.
He's a thefter. He's a thefter. Yes. He thefts things.
I'm gonna say it the way I do.
All right, so
a
scrawny man sporting a black hoodie. Whoops. That had written on it "Caution, allergic to sun" in a fancy font, and a bulky woman dressed for a fight that could easily snap her tiny companion like a twig. I'm gonna say easily. I think that's cute.
Yeah, that is cute.
But what a married couple does behind closed doors is their own business. I think that's funny.
That is very funny.
And this is because of a space, right? I don't know why they put that space there, but they did.
There doesn't need to be a comma. Can I buy you a cup of coffee? Done.
Yeah, I don't know why I put a comma there. That's weird.
That is very strange.
Okay, so...
Yo.
What are you doing? Distracting yourself from being bored?
Just letting you type. But I'm still talking. I was
yes,
talking
you are. You are. I don't even know where we're going anymore. Okay, so what I need to do is add in his hair right here, right? Mm-hmm. But what about her? And then you can go back to your phone while I type instead of look at the camera. Be pretty. Or just sit there and look at your camera. Be pretty. That's true.
What are you doing now?
I just want to hit this button. All right.
Hydration is almost gone.
I think she said this. I'm not on the right screen. I think she said this.
Yes.
So I could put it here. And what is she? She's a fighter.
What this is giving me, what she's been saying is, despite her being a fighter, dressed for a fight that she could snap, she's gentle a little bit. She almost has this like gentle giant, but only with specific people. Mm-hmm. And she's talking about the love she has for
Glint.
Yes,
really only Glint.
Uh-huh. But you need to fix the scrawny one asked and reveal his hair somehow.
Yes, I was trying to figure out the other one so I could do them together.
I don't know if there's much else you could give about her in this moment. Full of curly black. Here.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about her then more.
Okay.
Because all she says is this, isn't it?
That and that bad, huh? The woman said, handing him a cup of coffee, his favorite invention of humans.
Yeah.
The feeling is worth it, she said, looking at the puffy-haired man. You're worth it.
She loves him.
So she's saying that to him.
To Glint.
To Glint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is
make that more clear.
Where is that? I could put it in there.
Okay, hold on, stop.
I mean, that is so. That's the thing. I want to put her character there. Mm-hmm. That's where I need to do. I need to do it before. Is this before? Oh no, that's after.
You need to make it very known that she's talking to Glint here, because it seems like she's still talking to Glimmer.
She said, looking at the puffy-haired man.
Yeah, but I can...
Saying to him?
Yeah, saying to him.
That's enough?
Saying to...
I don't think Glint's name's been said is the problem.
No.
They haven't been named yet.
No, it hasn't been
Glint
named.
comes up right after.
Yes. So that's when you... What would you have her do after saying you're worth it?
She walked to the back of the room and stood with her arms crossed.
No. Okay, she's looking at him. She's looking at Glint.
She sat next to Glint. She walks over and gives him a kiss.
And then says you're worth it.
That's what it is. Okay.
And then says you're worth it.
Okay.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. 'Cause I am smirt. Smirt. Smirty smirt smirt. I am so smirt. Smirt smirt. Smirty smirt smirt. I am so smirt.
It's not that bad, huh? The woman said, handing him a... Oh, that bad, huh? Said the woman said, handing him a cup of coffee, his favorite invention of the humans. The feeling is worth it, she commented, looking at the puffy-haired man walking over to him and planting a kiss on his cheek, saying, "You're worth it."
Planting a kiss on his cheek, saying, "You're worth it." Duh, man. Demanding. The man blushed. Yes, that is good. That is good, because then we definitely know that that's the two of them together.
Oh, stop it. And then he interrupts it. So he could have said something, "I love you too," or something like that. But he interrupts it saying, "Why do you guys always need to love each other around?" Is there a better way to say that?
What? Do you always need to be lovey-dovey when I'm around?
Is that sarcastic?
You can say so lovey-dovey. Do you always need to be so lovey-dovey when I'm around?
I mean, so the sarcasm is what implies this isn't a real comment. He actually enjoys their lovey-dovey nature. It's not a negative to him. It's just reminding him of something he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone knows it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that anyone can do about it. Because, well, he's not married. He's not in love with somebody. I
feel like he cut this one, but he didn't cut this one. He should have cut both. He should have cut both.
I need to signify that she said this.
I don't need your love lessons, Glint. I need you to keep an eye on Eleanor. Glint says that.
Oh, Glint does say it. Well, he can.
What else is marriage for if not to say all the good sentences to each other? You don't need to, because he says right there, Glint said it, basically.
Yeah.
So you don't need to say Glint.
Okay, let's move up. We're getting almost done here.
Yeah, and then I got books to read.
So then we got this interaction with Eleanor.
Okay.
What am I doing here? What's going on here?
You're trying to worm his way into her brain. Constantly make her think about him. So next time...
Not necessarily constantly, but have a good opinion and a good feeling.
Well, like... I'm always going to think about the customer that made a good impression.
Mm-hmm. That's what he's trying to do, yeah.
Even if it's only the one time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to worm him into her brain.
Kind of permanently.
Permanently.
Like it's just a spot in there, and he's intriguing because he knew what she liked and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Which comes up more in the future chapters.
Right. So that way when she next sees him, it's with
a positive feeling.
Warmth and positivity, yeah.
Is what she says or what he says coming off too cliche and tired?
You remind me of no, because he says you remind me of the Greek sirens, and she says, "Too bad my singing voice is shit." Thinking, okay, this guy's trying to pick up lines, and then he brings up a whole different thing
of what she does love.
And it says, I wasn't talking about the singing. It was their dancing that was the most alluring. That was most alluring.
And she's
I keep adding the right
a prolific dancer. She loves dancing.
I keep adding the there. It was their dancing that was most alluring. Or it
Should
was...
I put the?
Well, hold on. Listen.
I don't know.
But listen to the two sentences. It was their dancing that was the most alluring.
that was their dancing that was most alluring.
Which one to you feels right?
Just without the, it's an unnecessary word.
Okay. I just keep trying to add it.
What is the referring to in that? What is the there for? What?
I don't know. I just keep trying to add it. So I was just trying to.
No, absolutely.
My name is John, and I assure you
what about?
I
I appreciate the comment, but you should know I have a boyfriend. You're barking up the wrong tree. Is there a better way to say that?
No.
Tell me in the comments below if there's a better way to say that.
I don't think there's.
Neither one of us really go dating a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time. So, let's get into this first part.
She knew the dance that held the key to the soul of dragon of greed and power.
Because power can be corrupted, and I was meaning power.
Capitalize it, though.
Yeah. Okay.
It was an old man who claimed to be Fae, but his powers clearly.
I wanted to give this guy a picture of this guy a little more extensively. So I'm going to cut ahead in the story a little bit and give a glimpse of what this is. Just a glimpse.
If I'm thinking correctly, I feel like I know what this guy looks like.
Okay. Well, you do know the Dragon of Prophecy.
Yes.
But what does he look like, though?
I see him as, like, tall, grayed, older gentleman.
What face shape?
Almond.
He's got a pointy chin? Or more just oval?
Maybe just
a high oval.
Just yeah, it's
elongated even.
Yeah.
Okay. And his hair's short and he has no facial hair.
I was seeing a bit of facial hair.
Because we're talking about a character that I created from that story that I don't write about, but do create from that world I've created.
That you've already pulled one person from.
And he becomes a dragon. That's the whole the whole point of the story is his trip to being a dragon, to becoming a dragon, which in my universe is more powerful than gods.
And the name that I know he has makes me think of the big, long, silvery beard.
I mean, maybe, yeah. Maybe in the other world.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but when he's young, it's like a short black goatee.
Yeah.
And short black hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
so,
I mean, this is a whole new
world. This is way in the
world.
future, and in this, he's wearing an armor of some kind.
And so, yeah, he could be completely different.
Yeah. He's in the first age, is where they meet him.
The other aspect that
him.
I know of is that it doesn't matter what he looked like in another world. He could be completely different, no matter where he goes.
Mm-hmm.
In each space,
he's a dragon.
He could go to 5 different places and not look the same in any.
And he could be all 5 of them at the same time.
Yes.
He's very powerful.
Yeah.
Unreal power, beyond what people can conceive of gods having. I think that the truth is. That's all you just change there. Okay.
And connive. I'm gonna look that up real quick. That's what I was doing.
Well, Eleanor knew the dance, and that was quite attractive to Glimmer, or rather John for now. His unique abilities helped him letting him know that she was not interested in his advances beforehand. Before their conversation.
That's how you spell that word. It just doesn't feel right in my brain. Tickles all the wrong spots. Oh, that's...
Oh, not Jonathan Gray. Jonathan Glimmer.
Jonathan
Glimmer.
Glimmer Gray.
No, just the last name Glimmer. I think I'm going to keep it that way.
Well, then
because Gray is his family name from the Fey world.
Well, then you should get rid of it at the first paragraph.
This is an interesting thing here because I'm trying to convey that he is Jonathan Glimmer and he is also Glimmer Gray. But there's not really a way to write that.
The only way you could write that is to put that in quotes.
Or I could just delete it. Yeah, it could be easier just to delete it.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking up conniving. Or connive.
You want to say something about it?
It's the proper word and it's the proper spelling. It just does not
look
feel
right,
right because I've only ever seen it as conniving.
Okay, so scheme. Convince and scheme their way out of every tough spot.
You can't say
scheme and convince.
But hold on, this is okay, so looking it up, I found the definition of it. It was just secretly allow something considered immoral, illegal, wrong, or harmful to occur, or conspire to do something considered immoral, illegal, or harmful.
Yes. And in the future where there is no evil and intention can be detected, you have to find a way around that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Which he has to, but he's also Fae, which gives him a special power. I will be right back after these short messages.
After these short messages, there's no short messages. They're long, annoying. Conniving is given to or involved in conspiring to do something immoral, illegal, or harmful.
Convince and conspire.
Conspire. Yeah. Conspire might be better.
Okay. What else? What's happening in this paragraph? What are they saying?
His family always had this kind of power to convince and conspire the way out of every tough spot. He was different, though. For millennia, the Fae Kingdom has distanced itself from humans, always wearing a mask, hiding themselves, never eager to reveal their true face.
Why was he different? Oh, I hate this word.
Nope. He was different. He had a prophecy to fulfill.
I mean, this could almost be a break here. It's almost like this is more dialogue. This is about Glimmer and this is about Fae human society.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It fits.
Fae humans. Glimmer, who had been living among the humans, learned of an obscure prophecy. That prophecy is spelled with a C, and that prophecy is spelled with an S.
Why would it allow that?
Why would it allow that? Let's see if there's a difference.
Is that like a British English spelling conversion?
C versus prophecy.
That's weird. Maybe I accidentally hit add to library.
Oh.
What?
One's a noun and one's a verb.
No.
Well, welcome to English.
So how do you verb? Which one's verb?
The C is the noun.
So this is S. Oh
Hold
my
on.
gosh! What is the difference?
No, that's a C. That's a C.
He learned of the obscure prophecy. It's a noun.
He learned of an
noun is C.
Yeah, noun is C.
Okay.
Noun is C. He had a prophecy to fulfill, so that's another.
Yeah. And so if we wanted to say,
go back up.
Where would you use the other one?
Describes the action of making a prophetic prediction.
She prophesied.
Yes. She's speaking in prophecy. Would be a verb.
Okay, that is dumb. That is the dumbest thing I have ever.
So fix the other
dumbest distinction.
Fix the other prophecy real quick. Right there.
That's fine.
That is absolutely insanity. Perfect example.
But
to English's messed up ways.
If I wrote out the prophecy and at the top titled it the prophecy, that would be a C.
That would be a C.
Okay.
Okay, so this one here. It was her complete lack of anything of interest that he knew he could exploit. Using some rather helpful abilities, he knew all the right places to exploit. Exploit. He knew all the right.
Where's the second one? Target. That's what I wanted.
That's one right there.
That's the one I want
to weasel himself in. It's not. You don't have to use that exact termage, but termage. I like the word termage. Weasel himself in. Would you word that any differently?
No. We're going to talk about this, though. So, I call him a con man.
Uh-huh.
So, what is that? Why would I call him a con man?
Because he's out here trying to exploit some lady.
But if the goal is a prophecy...
He says it right here. She was just one human in a vast sea of humans, small-minded animals that he had grown accustomed to in his exile. He doesn't think very highly of humans, but...
he doesn't.
At the same time...
He knows one he can exploit.
Well, no, not only that, but like at the same time, he wants to combine the two worlds together. And he says they're ready.
Yes, he knows they're ready. Because the Fey world, it says in there, the Fey world has cut itself off from the humans, right? Mm-hmm. Has distanced itself for millennia.
Yeah.
So it's like the last time in Fey werewolf kind of area is the last time we hear of the Fey. The Victorian times, it kind of just stops. And there's no more to us from them. They don't pop into our world anymore. There's no masked creatures coming in and doing stuff. Because the Queen of the Fae has said no more. No more human intervention. Because it's a threat. It's a real threat. These animals that go out there and kill each other. Yeah. That's not what the Fae do. That's entertainment for them. Not a wish to actually harm.
So it's kind of weird that he sees humans as both insignificant, but then he praises them in the last paragraph. Not the last paragraph, but like the end paragraphs of the chapter.
What was? Explain that again.
He sees them as insignificant. They're all the same, but then praises them when he's talking to...
When he knows what he can get out of it.
Well, no, scroll down. All the way.
With the older woman?
Here we go. I believe that humans of this world have evolved enough to know the truth.
Yeah.
That's a praise.
The truth that the Fey world is real.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's still a
they
praise.
Cut itself off from humanity.
It's still a praise.
It's like we can take advantage of them. That's what he's saying with that. They've evolved enough, now we can take advantage of them. So I don't know if it's a praise, but yeah, I guess you could call it that. Maybe I need to add that in there.
I don't know if you do. I feel like it's interesting to see his two sides of what he feels about the humans. Does he have any respect for humans at all? Or is it just none?
He doesn't. What he has respect for is their ability to have given up on evil
and
make it a way in for him, and he can manipulate the system because he's Fey, not human. Like the only Fey, like with a body too. Everyone else is just poking in from the Fey world, not really able to make any real impact.
And she doesn't necessarily have to know that right off the bat.
No.
You missed my joke.
Oh, sorry. You know me, I got a great sense of humor.
They make great coffee.
Yes, they do. Oh.
Now this is exciting. Caution, allergic to this.
There's something about the Fae deserve more than what they are been given, and the humans showed him to that. That's how I would put it. The Fae deserve more, and the humans showed him that. And now he found a way for the Fae to get more, to have it permanently, to have the peace, the entertainment through peace, through not fighting, not combating. Because I mean that's entertaining. Playing a video game, for example, you can just go in there and fight. There's no real struggle, but it's entertaining, and that's just how they exist. The journey is just like a big holographic system that they navigate through. That's not real. It's all imagination. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of get into that. That the Fae, because of their neglect of the human world, didn't grow enough to really expand their thinking. They stopped thinking because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And they deserve what the humans have more than the humans to him. That the Fae should be the ones that have conquered evil. But they haven't. And it's still in their hearts. And they're going to bring it in.
I think what you have there is enough for... Like, you don't have to put all his indifference towards humans in one chapter like that.
Well, this wasn't so much about the indifference, but rather that he thinks the Fae deserve more. That they're not getting more. I don't know if I'm saying that in this dialogue. This is what she's trying to get across to him. Or he's trying to get across to her. The Fae deserve more. That's what the prophecy is going to do for them. Is give them more.
Okay, so when I get a
place.
dragon on my side, you will know very quickly I mean to change the very foundations of human and Fae society alike.
The Fae deserve better than this, Mother. Better than what you've given them, Mother.
Okay.
So we also get the idea this is his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Here I am wanting to capitalize everything.
You're a big capitalizator.
That way we can get the mother thing. I don't know if I said that. This is his mom.
I wouldn't like to prophesy what will happen to that marriage. That...
Prophesy. Prophecy. Prophesy.
Prophesied.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Prophesy. Prophecy. The act of prophecy or... No, the act, the object of prophecy or the act of prophecy. Anyway, that's it. That was a big one. Thanks for watching. We'll get our stuff figured out.
Get your crap together, Hooded.
It's never gonna happen. I'm gonna have just only crap for the rest of time. Come watch my crap. I love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to Audio Test. This is an audio test.
Audio test.
The dog looks concerned.